So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake. I have the good fortune of having 𝐂𝐒𝐄 of 𝐿 Ventures here. And today we're going to talk about how it is we're able to live on so little money as we travel around the world. So 𝐂𝐒 joined me 4 years ago, and we've been traveling the world, and we have been able to live on in the range of like $1,000 to $1,500 a month once we tried to start saving money. Before that, we were spending more. But to me, it's more adventurous, and let me explain why. When you travel around the world will roll the red carpet out for you. You're a tourist. It wants you to eat in the expensive restaurants, stay in the expensive hotels, expensive this, expensive that. It charges you crazy amounts for tours, and they see you coming. And behind that, though, are local people. And they're paying very little rent. They're eating on much less food. They don't earn as much. And so there's a world, if you will, behind the curtain. If you pull the curtain back and actually go out on an adventure, you'll really learn about that culture. And that's so saving money might sound like a bad thing, but it's actually a more adventurous way of traveling the world. And you really get to see the world instead of what they want you to see. So 𝐂𝐒, welcome to my channel. 𝐂𝐒 has a channel, 𝐿 Ventures, and 𝐂𝐒 really has been the star of not just my channel, but also the concept of saving money. She's been really important in that regard, and she'd like to share a little bit about how we got started with this saving money thing.
Yes, how we get started. It started when we in the Ecuador, and I wanted to visit Galapagos, and then say Galapagos is very expensive, and I hear a lot of people say it's expensive. My friend visit there also say it's very expensive. I said like, how expensive? And then I try to Google search online. Actually, we can travel in the budget way to visit Galapagos, and I make it happen. We spend some if you search online on 2018 when we travel, there is per person for 8 days cruise in the Galapagos is at least 6,000. It's not including the air ticket, entrance ticket, and alcohol drinks. That's all.
That's per person, right?
Yeah, that's per person.
Yeah.
And it's only 8 days. And then we spend in Galapagos for 23 weeks, and then we stay in San Cristobal, Santa Cruz, and Isabela Island, and we travel to see the other island, and including the diving, the tour, everything, food, accommodation, air tickets, everything. Per person is 1,000. Per person is 1,745 per person, including the air ticket and everything. Not sure it's really cheap a lot, but
that's per person?
That's per person.
Okay, okay. And that includes the airfare from from the mainland out to the, because we were in Ecuador at the time.
Yeah.
And so it's quite a bit less. It's what is it? It's 60 or 70% off.
Yeah.
Right. And that was a lot of money for us. We normally only spend like between $1,000 and $1,500 per month for both of us as we travel around the world. So 𝐂𝐒 had to do some arm twisting to get me to spend that much on that trip. But we feel lucky that we got to see the Galapagos. It had been somewhere I wanted to see my whole life. So what had happened is I had a job, and I was making a fairly reasonable salary in the US, but I was working remotely for a company in India, and I had lost my job. And luckily I had some emergency savings for just a couple years savings to pay at a really low rate. So I set a budget of $2,000 a month to travel the world, and 𝐂𝐒 was able to get us down, as I said, in most countries, most places within countries within like $1,000 to $1,500 a month. And what we'd like to do is share some of our tips about what we did along the way to save money like that, just to give you some ideas. Number one is transportation. For example, on Skyscanner, if you get familiar with Skyscanner, they have this function you can click on which says for the month. So you just say a month that you want to go somewhere, and it checks every airline every airfare for that whole month to fly there. And it's not unusual to save like 30 or 40% on airfare when you're flying to a new country. So that's a number one tip there. And then we also learned that when we were in a country, we did, which I'll talk more about in a minute, which is called slow travel. Once we got to a country, we'd explore the whole country first, and we rode buses around and that kind of thing. And buses were often only like $10 to go between two cities when we were traveling inside of a country.
And there's one thing is when we travel in Mexico, we also travel with the buses, and the buses is same like the flight ticket. If you book early a week, the price is cheaper and lower. If you book like the last minute ticket that you are travel today or tomorrow, the ticket will be cost more higher. Yeah. So that way that we save the money as well. Right.
Yeah. So transportation is very important. If you just fly between cities once you're in a country, you don't even get to see the countryside. So you're not really seeing the country. You're seeing airports.
Yes. The same thing like we are travel from Colombia to 𝐴𝐴𝐻. The ticket and the compare the flight ticket and the bus ticket is way more cheaper, and we're able to see the scenes surrounding that from Colombia to 𝐴𝐻. That's so beautiful.
Which, yeah, it's some of the most beautiful country in the world. Let's see, it'd be northern Ecuador and southern Colombia. The land through there is striking, and so it's more. Again, it's more adventurous. You're seeing the land. You're saving a bucket of money, which you can use and spend on other fun stuff rather than just throw it away to an airline or whatever. So transportation is very important.
Yeah, and we also travel from 𝗥𝐻 by the bus to Peru as well.
Yeah, we travel pretty much everywhere by local buses. And by the way, you might think, oh, these are like chicken buses. No, these buses are very nice. They're new, modern. Toilet inside, very clean and beautiful. So it's not a chicken bus, although we also like traveling on chicken buses, which is really fun too from time to time. So next up is food. We save a lot of money on food by, first of all, when we find the market, and most of the city of the retired cheap places around the world, they'll have a central market where they sell fruits and vegetables and food products. And within there, you'll find family restaurants, not tourist restaurants for, $6, $7, $8 an entree, but family restaurants for $1, $1.50, $2, $3. And so not only are you seeing, you're seeing what local food is, you're saving money. You feel like you're immersed in the culture when you do it that way. And plus, while you're there, you also buy groceries, take them home, and cook some meals at home. We saved a lot by cooking meals at home also.
Yeah, but that apply in the Latin America. Cooking more at home is really save money. It doesn't save much money if you cook in Asia. In Asia, it's mostly outside.
Yeah, Asia has a lot of really cheap food, street food that we're able to find for $1, $2 a meal, and then you're not
about the street food. They have the cost of living in Asia is cheap, so the cost of the food is also cheap, and it's a healthy food. They are all like vegetarian foods that you can find in Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia.
Yeah,
that's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So hidden in what she's saying is you have to adapt to where you are. If you're in a place where restaurants are expensive, you go to the store and you buy food and you shop and find food that's nutritious. And if you're in a place where they're cheap, then maybe you eat out more. So you have to adapt your life to where you are.
Yes, that's true.
So that's important too. So accommodations, I mentioned. I have a video on how to find perfect apartments around the world. But the main thing is you save money on accommodations by staying longer. If you stay somewhere 3 nights, 4 nights, a week, like you typically do on vacation, you're going to pay a lot of money. But once you start looking at places for a month or two, which I'll talk about more in slow travel in a bit, you're saved a lot of money, sometimes even 40–50% by booking a month. And so, but definitely come to the webpage and listen to all the techniques we have for finding a good long stay apartment.
Yes, and also I also compare, like when I found a place in Airbnb, I will compare the price in the booking.com as well. If I can find that, some of the owner, they also have the link or the website about the Google Map, and they have an email, and mostly they have a phone, so I can call them to nego the price, and I want to have a house will be, so our cost of living will be lower. Example, there's a lot of places that, you know, in Airbnb, they advertise like $70 US, $70 per night. That is for like for a day or 2 day, you know, accommodation a week. But, you know, we managed to book it for a month. The per day, the rate that we pay is $17 US per day, including the utility and everything. So,
internet, everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything.
And back to food for a moment. Also, depending on where you are in the world, if food is expensive and there's no food carts or whatever around there selling healthy food, we also found ourselves packing a lot of lunches when we would go on day tours or whatever. So we would pull out something healthy to eat that we bought and made ourselves in the store, and when we're in expensive parts of the world, and we would have a picnic when we're out on a tour or whatever. That's a nice way also to save money. And then also, like, you have to watch our videos in Mexico. Watch Qiang eat these tacos she finds for, seems like they're like just huge tacos for crazy amounts of salsa and stuff. And Qiang's really good at hunting great street food. So make sure to, there'll also be a link to her channel below. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to her channel and watch her eat food.
The next one we want to talk is about the tour. So I'm good in finding the promotion, like when we in Ecuador in Cuenca.
Okay, that completes part 1 of this video. In part 2, we'll cover 5 of the most important tips to save money slow traveling the world, and it's on Qiang's channel. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video. There'll be a link that there'll be more information, and below that it'll say part 2. Click that, it'll take you over to Qiang's channel and watch that video over there. We'll see you over at the part 2. Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.